Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gap. That's Dalitha. I am Travis. It's Friday, and that means it's time for Kevin Owens on commentary. But if he touches anybody, he gets suspended.
I forgot to change my shirt.
And Dalitha's in pink because she forgot to
I don't really hate
take her clothes
but I really do.
See? Guest commentator, not Tate. Does he have a tie on? Look at him dressing up. Sometimes you need a jacket too, though.
Yes.
To pull it off.
We got people in the chat tonight. Hey guys, how's it going? We got Sophie out there, Chris Akane is with us, Robert Warney is with us, and Walter. Hey guys. Oh, Harley just showed up. Hey, how's it going? How's everybody Friday night going? Hopefully everybody's having a good day or had a good day. Anybody got any plans for the weekend?
Look at Corey Graves is gone because he just had a baby.
Oh, they just had a baby?
Yep.
Oh,
on
nice.
Wednesday.
Wow.
Anyways, you can keep going or whatever.
Oh, that's fine. I thought there was more.
Anyways,
Sorry.
remember we do have ChatGPT, so if you guys have a question for ChatGPT, we can read them during the commercials. So ask your questions now, and then during commercials, we can ask ChatGPT, and it will answer. Try it out. Try to keep them wrestling-ish.
So did the baby
But they're
come
cool
early,
if you...
or was
No,
it...
everything was fine.
Everything went good? Yeah, good.
Yeah. Great.
Well, the LWO hasn't had their meltdown yet. Maybe it's going to happen
Yeah.
now. Anyway, Sophie said hi, and Chris said, what up, Travis and D? Robert
What
said,
up?
hey, what's up? It's wrestling time. Sophie said,
Yeah,
Rob's
it is.
rumored to be moved to FX next year. Yep, lots of rumors for everything.
FX. Got the
We're all on time
movies.
tonight, Sophie. Walter says, hi, Travis. Hi, Daphne. Chris says, Kyrie, same time tonight. Yeah, we'll see what the fallout is from everything.
I just can't wait to see her. She's a cutie.
Sophie says, Carmella just gave birth to her son a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Is it just hers, though?
Yeah, it's just hers because she's the mom. And
So Corey Graves doesn't have a son.
No, he's a deadbeat dad.
Nice. Harley says, hello, everybody. Let's relax and have some fun. I'm guessing that's what you said after that. Chris says, SmackDown is Bliss Country in Bliss Country tonight. Walter says, Kevin Owens will call matches. Yep, Corey Graves is out. Piccolo says, hi, Gab Gang, question mark. Why are we questioning it? Hello, how is it going? Sophie says the men's War Games match is rumored to be 5 versus 5. Walter says SmackDown tonight good matches. And Brandon Stevens is now in the chat. He wants Kyrie Sane to marry him. Oh, Maddie, she's already married.
Yeah.
It's the reason why she left WWE the first time.
She went
Nicola
to Japan.
says, my question is G-Funk the best type of funk and why? During the commercial break. Sophie says there's a rumor that WWE might move their pay-per-views to Friday nights. And Walter says LWO for the win promo
Hey, look
time.
at Zelina Vega with her yellow hair. Reminds me of like a cartoon blonde.
Kind of, yeah. Well, there's lots of rumors, right, Sophie? And it's
That's
good
cool.
that you're telling us all of them.
FX has the movies, so they might as well have the wrestling too.
They put it on, that they move their pay-per-views to Friday nights.
Cool, that'd be great. I'd be fucking ecstatic. You kidding me?
Friday night pay-per-views, I'd be okay with that. We'd make my weekends so much better.
That would be the coolest thing in the history of TV. Oh my god.
And not have their show on Friday night.
Well, of
like
course
do
not,
like
yeah.
Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday and Wednesday
Yeah.
or Tuesday and Thursdays or something like that.
Wow, that would be so
And then do their pay-per-views on
freaking
Friday.
good.
Be like, yes.
Can you imagine how... I mean, that's revolutionary.
Walter says LWO for the win promo time. Ayla's in the chat. Hey, Ayla says, how do I join this gang?
Hey, it's the Meat Man.
There's some kind of gang. The Meat Man.
Hey, I have some horses you need to come get for Indy.
Walter says, hey, Ayla and
Or
Ayla
unicorns.
says, hi, Walter.
One of them's a
They're
gold unicorn.
unicorns.
They're
all
unicorns. There's some
Sophie-
corns.
Sophie says, Rob being
The most
on FX.
vicious animal in the animal kingdom.
Sure. Rob being on FX, if it's true, will be both interesting and weird. Ayla says, I didn't go to work today. I forgot about that chicken.
You
Well, that
would.
doesn't surprise
You
me.
would forget about chicken.
Blood Ninja in the chat. Hey, Blood, how's it
Meat
going?
Man.
How are you tonight? Thanks for joining us. Says hello, y'all. Hello, Blood. Walter says, Ayla, you missed work. Why? It was like, do you hate CP Crypt Ninja? You hate Crypt Ninja. Ayla Sick mental health.
What's he going to say? Carlito's going to say something. He's going to get mad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah!
Oh,
that son of a bitch!
Carlito's starting the shit. Ooh, Carlito.
He did it! He left him there on purpose.
Oh my god.
Look how big.
Why are we yelling at him?
Look how big he is compared to everybody else. There again, he was a small guy in the WWE at the time.
Remember when he was tiny? Film's in the chat. Hey, Film. Been a long time that we've seen you. Glad to see you in here. Hope everything's going okay with
Sorry
you.
for yelling in front of you. I'm just saying, you know, it is his fault.
Ooh, he's leaving.
He should
Angry
leave.
boy.
Paint a yellow stripe on his back.
Hello,
son of a
Miss Dean.
bitch.
Travis, big hug, big heart. I'm very good. I'm glad I am here. Good deal. Woo. Chris says Carlito going to turn on Rey. Nope, he didn't.
No, Carlito likes Rey. He's going after the other one.
Santos,
that's his name. I would have said it 5 minutes ago.
Santos.
So why does Boston have the ugliest floor in the NBA?
My question is, why is Carlito...
He's wrestling Bobby right now.
Carlito?
Yeah.
Why is he out there spreading rumors and lies?
He didn't.
He totally did.
He said nothing but truth.
Rumors and lies.
It wasn't Logan Paul. It was Santos Escobar.
It was Rey's fault why he lost. It was
Rey's
Rey's own fault.
Because he can't kick out from getting punched in the face with brass knucks.
Exactly.
Pussy!
Sophie says, is this where the LW are going to turn on Rey? Maybe. Not really, though. Ravi is in the chat. Hey, Ravi says, roll up is time for wrestling. It looks like I'm falling off the rails, going to get hit by a crazy train. Ha ha.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne once said the same thing.
Sophie says, these new TV homes for SmackDown and NXT next year are interesting moves. Walter says, geez, Carlito, okay. So like Carlito was telling the truth. No, he wasn't. He was telling lies.
The coolest news I've ever heard in my life is that they might do their pay-per-views on Fridays. If that happens, there's no better
That's
news.
the best rumor ever.
But we'll just say they don't. The second coolest news is that SmackDown is going to be live from coast to coast next October, starting in October.
For their new season.
So
it's not going to be fucking stupid like it has been.
Everywhere. So it's like we're not an hour behind everybody else, so we have to watch it on a stupid app.
Yeah. We can actually watch it on our normal like station instead. Fucking hell.
What even is this?
What is it?
Don't touch my things. Gross.
Don't touch my things. Gross.
Bobby!
My weighted habits from my snatched waist.
Hey, what was that question? I'll ask it real quick.
That's my purse. That's his purse.
What's the question?
Ready? Is G-Funk the best type of funk and why?
Go ahead. What would you like to talk about or do today?
Is G-Funk the best type of funk and why?
Well, whether G-Funk is the best type of function really depends on what you're looking to achieve. It's a term that doesn't have a standard definition across all programming languages or contexts. Could you tell me a bit more about where you've come across G-Funk? That would help me give you a more accurate answer.
Well, G-Funk isn't really function. It's music, you dumbass.
Dude. Why are you yelling?
G-Funk, also known as Gangsta Funk, is a subgenre of hip-hop music that emerged from the West Coast scene in the early 90s. It incorporates multi-layered and melodic synthesizers, slow hypnotic grooves, a deep bass, background female vocals, the extensive sampling of P-Funk tunes, and a high-pitched portamento saw wave synthesizer.
Why is he telling us
It's
what it
highly
is?
regarded by many for its laid-back vibe and is considered one of the most significant movements in the history of hip-hop.
Is it the
Fans
best?
might argue it's the best for its unique sound and influence on the genre. What's your take on G-Funk? Do you have a favorite track or artist?
I just say G-Funk on a whole new level, where the rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. Chords, strings, melodies we bring. It's like...
It sounds like a nod to the classic G-Funk anthem.
Holla! Oh, too good.
Bass bass, and the bass being the treble, along with chords, strings, and melodies, captures the essence of G-Funk's rich and smooth sound. It's a style that's all about that blend of laid-back beats, funky rhythms, and an atmosphere that's both relaxed and intense. It's music that you can vibe to and feel deep down. So, who's got you hooked on the G-Funk sound? Any particular tracks or albums you've got on repeat?
The only one I know of is Warren G, baby.
You're referring to the unique sound of Snoop Dogg, who often collaborates with Dr. Dre, one of the pioneers of the G-Funk.
It was actually Warren G.
Snoop's
But
smooth
that's
flow
fine.
over those iconic West Coast beats is unforgettable, and his album Doggy Style is a quintessential G-Funk.
Oh my god, we played that.
The color
I bet.
orange might remind
Till
you
it
of the
fell
sunny,
off.
laid-back vibe of California, where this genre flourished. Snoop Dogg's music often paints a picture of that West Coast lifestyle. Do you like the chill vibe of his tracks, or is it the lyrics that draw you in?
I have people in the chat.
It's all good. I gotta go. I'm watching wrestling.
Why would you tell it that? That's so
You
fucking
tell it
weird.
things.
No, you don't.
That's what you
God,
do.
you're fucking weird,
It's called
dude.
communique. Maybe
That's
you've heard of it.
fucking weird as fuck.
I got shit to do.
Anyways, Walter's like, geez, Carlito, okay. Let's see, Walter also said Carlito for the win. Marcus is in the chat. Hey, Marcus says, so when does Santos turn on Rey? I don't know, but he left. He just walked away from the LWO, so I don't know. Ravi says, Guan, Ayla is here. And Marcus says, wait, who is doing their pay-per-views on Friday? According to Sophie, rumor has it WWE might be. Ayla's like, Quan? And Walter's like, okay, at 9:05, I'm going. I'll be here Monday, still in chat. Piccolo says Friday Night Wrestling PLEs might be worth it.
Oh.
Ayla's like, Guan with an AG. Oh, with a G. Guan. Chris says Carlito versus Bobby. This is WWE 2008 match. I think if you say it with an English accent, Ayla, it might sound like it's supposed to. Walter's like, hey, Leopold. And Sophie says it's interesting that SmackDown and NXT both got TV deals for next year. Robbie says, Guan, Ayla, you saying these days? Sophie says, I don't understand that question. Ayla's like, I don't know. I'm not saying much. Sophie says, what the heck is G-Funk? Piccolo says, oh, Chat GPT, you scuffed. Chris says, ask if Timeless Tony character on AEW is going anywhere. That will be your next question.
It won't. It won't have an answer for them.
Yeah, it won't. It's future telling.
It's got to be a little bit more... Well, it also doesn't know who she is. It'll know who Tony Storm is, but it won't know that story.
Walter says it's music, whatever, LOL. Ayla's like, Sophie, you're not cool enough for the funk. Sophie's like, Impact does the Friday night pay-per-view thing. I don't care what Impact does. Robbie says G-Funk is the stuff Dr. Dre, Snoop, and Ice Cube and Nate Dogg made. They sampled funk, soul, and 80s R&B to make it. Walter's
did.
like, G-Funk is the Godfather theme music. There you go. Fantastic, Walter. You're amazing sometimes. Pico's like, yeah, Sophie, the G-Funk era. Mary Wilson in the chat giving the W. Hey, Mary. Sophie says Chat GPT is Travis's new toy. Yes. Ayla's like, G-Funk is the funky funk with a hit of gangsta. Robbie says, Ayla, you've been good these days. Mary Wilson says, hey, guys, do you think Damian should join the LWO?
No.
No, I think he's fine just in the Judgment Day or by himself. Sophie says, never heard of G-Funk. Ayla's like, I've been alive. Robbie says, Dr. Dre, The Chronic has some good G-Funk on it, and some early Tupac has some G-Funk on his songs. Walter says, no, Mary, he's on Judgment Day. Piccolo's like, well, that's half the battle. Breathing, Ayla. Marcus says, so if WWE does their PLEs on Friday, then what day will they move SmackDown? Who knows, but it can move to any day as it's on the CW, so it doesn't matter.
What I would like to see them do is either Tuesday, so Monday for Raw.
Or, sorry,
Tuesday.
USA. I'm sorry. They're on USA.
Right, SmackDown.
Yeah.
And do SmackDown on Tuesdays. And then NXT they could do on Wednesdays or Thursdays. It just depends, because NXT's not that big of a deal. But a lot of people are going to watch it. I'll watch it. Especially if they put it on the same night as Dynamite. That would be fantastic. And they've already shown that they can beat them now. And they might just put their foot on their throat.
Putting their pay-per-views on Friday would totally kill them.
Kill who? Oh, like Rampage? Nobody watches
AEW.
Nobody watches that shit.
Like, nobody cares about their Collision crap either.
Well, yeah, but at least Collision's on at the same time as their pay-per-views. That would hurt them more. Rampage, nobody's going to watch anyways. I mean, I watch it once every 3 months or whatever. Anyways, but yeah, putting it on Friday, that's just such a game changer because you don't have to compete with anybody else's pay-per-view ever.
Nope.
Boxing, UFC, obviously we don't have to worry about the UFC ones anymore. I think that's over.
Yeah.
It's the same
There's
company.
no way they're
It's the
going to
same
be able
company.
to.
They're not going to do that. It's done.
They'd be fucking themselves. They'd be like, well, we're going to lose money.
Yeah, it's...
Well, we don't want that.
If anything, they got to move it to Sunday.
And do they want to go back to having their pay-per-views on Sunday?
They could do that with NXT is what I'm going. NXT's on Sundays.
Well, that's fine. I meant, like, do they want to go back to having WWE regular SmackDown Raw pay-per-views on Sunday, though?
You know, sometimes I think it's better because you can watch it by yourself. Does that make any sense? Like, the weekend's over, you can sit down and just kind of relax into the night and watch, kind of like Sunday Night Football. Mm-hmm. You don't have to party or anything. But it is kind of cool if you want to party to have it on a Saturday because then you don't work the next day. So
True.
It's one of the either or.
Party or no party.
Right.
It was like, right, Fat Lisa. And Sophie says, I can't wait for Survivor Series. And Sophie says, did you hear about Vince selling all of his stock?
No, I heard about him selling 1/3 of his stock.
Marcus says, I liked when Raw was Mondays and SmackDown was Tuesdays.
He sold 30% of his stock for like $700 and something million.
He's really just raking in the dough, isn't he? He's just like, well, I'm not going to live to see it, so I'm just going to rake in this money now. Chris has a couple questions for AI.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's already that time. Let's do it. Wait, you got to wait till you're there.
Who is Toni Storm and where does she rank in wrestling? We'll see if he can find anything.
Oh, it's not finding, it's thinking.
It's finding the information.
It doesn't find. It's
It
not
finds
connected
information.
to the internet.
It is too. It has to get its information from somewhere.
Itself?
No. It has to have an encyclopedia of information to get basics for foundational stuff and then come up with information of its own. It doesn't just fly off the handle from the middle of nowhere. Oh, I got it from a cloud.
Storm, known in the ring as Timeless. Toni Storm is a New Zealand-Australian professional wrestler who has made a significant impact in the wrestling world. She's signed with All Elite Wrestling, AEW, and has been a two-time AEW Women's World Champion. Prior to that, she was a one-time NXT UK Women's Champion while with WWE. Her performances in the Mae Young Classic tournament in 2017 and 2018, particularly winning it in 2018, really put her on the map. Beyond WWE, she has performed in the Japanese promotion Stardom and the British promotion Progress Wrestling, holding titles in both. In the German promotion Westside Extreme Wrestling, she held the championship twice. In terms of rankings, as of October 16th, 2023, she was ranked number 10 in AEW, despite a slight step down in her new Timeless character portrayal, but still very much in the world title picture. In a combined WWE and AEW power ranking, she was placed at number 20. This ranking indicates her prominence in the wrestling industry, especially considering the large number of wrestlers competing for these spots. Her presence on television and in major storylines is a testament to her abilities and the character she brings to the sport.
And we're back
Okay.
from that commercial break. Bobby Lashley is giving it to Carlito like he deserves it.
Giving it and giving it and giving it. Wow.
Chris also had another question about Vincent. Sophie says, but if they move their PLE to Friday nights, it would throw the whole weekend off when it is a pay-per-view weekend. Not really.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
People's like, have UFC fights, have UFC events ever happened on weeknights? Never watched it
Okay.
enough or followed enough to know.
I'm not going to answer that real because I don't know. But since February of 2020, that's when I started watching it, no. They
Mary-
do have boxing on at that time that they own. It's called 360 Boxing. So if you guys were watching last night. or
Yeah,
was it last-
Thursday night. Yeah,
Thursday night. You would have seen Triple H was there and Dana White was there in attendance at the boxing match last night. So.
Mary says it's still sad that Bray Wyatt died. Sophie says,
Yes.
I think having a Saturday pay-per-view has done wonders for the WWE. Piccolo says, Ayla, is there still no renovation, are there still renovation projects happening? Marcus says, I would love PLEs on Friday so I can get the rest of the weekend to do nothing.
Oh, wouldn't
It's
it be
true.
beautiful?
I would love it too. I would rather have my Saturday nights be for something else. Piccolo says, new. He meant new. Are there still new renovations? Ravi says, Carlito LOL getting smashed up. And Ayla says, we're building a wood fence. We have 8 posts in so far.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ravi's like, what AI app is that?
It's called ChatGPT-4.
Ayla's like, back fence. Mary's like, hi, Ayla. Piccolo says, oh, very nice. And Sophie says, Nick Khan, or the new owner of the WWE, said we could see sponsorships in the ring, kind of like how UFC does.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, right? Instead of just the blank canvas.
I think it'd be weird for them to have sponsorships for a fake thing.
Why would it matter?
Because it's entertainment, not actual sportsmanship happening. It's for entertainment purposes. And if they're going to start doing that, then they're going to have to go under different protocols and make it an actual sport. And then they're going to open a lot of different worms and different doors.
Can I tell you why CM Punk left WWE?
Because he's a walking billboard for Pepsi.
Oh, that's weird. Anyways, he had a sponsorship lined up with a sponsored company. And so he wanted to do it. Like, he's like, hey, can I do this? He ran it through Vince, and Vince is like, no, we don't allow that. And he's like, oh, all right, like, shit. And then what they did, I'm trying to see what's happening here, because Santos is there, but he's not coming in. He looks like he's pretty upset at Carlito. We're going to see some drama here happen, guys. Anyways, then Brock showed up with his Jimmy John's sponsor.
It changed.
Well, he was the guy. He was sponsored. So he wears Jimmy John stuff on his shorts and all that when he first came back.
Well, it looks like Carlito got smacked by Santos, and now Santos is trying to be like, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. It's not like I did it on purpose. He's like, you totally did.
There it is!
You did it on purpose. We're all family, Ray says.
We're all blood. LWO. Get him, Santos!
No, not that. It was like, it'll be nice for sure. Piccolo says, keeping out all the riffraffs I see. Robbie says, Ayla, did you dig so the post could fit in? Chris says, oh shit, it said Timeless Tony.
He did it! Santos from behind!
Oh, he
LWO!
got the ring.
Well, part of the LWO is no more.
Oh, he's like, but I love you so much.
Is he going to unmask him?
No, I don't know what he's doing. Just grabbing him by the mask. I don't know.
I mean, we've seen him unmasked.
Oh, he's just grabbing his shirt.
He's already a deadbeat dad. You might as well. You know what I mean?
How dare you in your fancy boots? They're all falling apart.
Good for Santos.
It was like, I didn't help at all. Rob is like, Ayla, you're the coffee lady. Marcus says I get to return to work after being out all week after suffering a bad seizure at work that caused me to get 9 stitches.
Not that I care, but did you guys get a permit?
I'm sorry to hear that, Marcus, that you had a seizure at work and you've been out all week with 9 stitches. Travis doesn't care, but that's okay.
Why would I hear it?
I just said it before you said anything. Did you get a permit for that seizure? Sorry.
Seizures are not
Marcus.
funny in this household.
They're not. They really aren't. No, they're not. We take them very serious, actually.
We had a dog pass.
We have a lot of trauma from that. Sophie says, I wouldn't be shocked if they announced a new TV deal for Raw like hours before an episode of Raw premiered. They won't do that. Picola says we're about to strip the old patio deck and build a new one. Nice. Like take it all up and put in new shit, huh? You're going to put in different stuff than you have?
Who is this?
Picola.
Okay. Have you thought about, I don't know what you're planning on doing and if it's ground level, but I swear to God, it would be so much cheaper just to do concrete. I don't know what concrete costs a yard there, but holy
I don't even know
crap.
if in Florida it would be smart to do concrete there.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's wet and soggy. It's different.
Also, having wood would be better?
I'm not sure if either one would be better. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that having concrete would be any different than having wood. I seriously think it would be almost not as good because of the settling.
Stamp it. Kind of what I wish I would have done back there. Because that wood is so expensive.
And then we wouldn't have to do anything.
Well, then
it could just be like we're in Arizona where it's hot and everybody doesn't have grass.
Over it.
No, why would we want that? Ew, the aesthetics of grossness.
It's not gross. You can
Hate it. No, I don't like it. I don't even want to think about it or have it.
It's fine. Why is there no more questions?
Because you're a dumbass.
It's a Dumas, and there could have been a question.
It was like hoping it'll shut up our neighbor's dog.
With the permit?
With the fence. Ayla says, nice, we need a driveway eventually too, maybe a deck in the future. John's like, what's up, Doc? And Sophie says, didn't the WWE try having a pay-per-view on a weekday before? They used to have them on Thursdays for the Crown Jewel stuff.
Survivor Series was on Thanksgiving back in the old days.
Chris says, ask AI what team percentage will Shohei Ohtani end up on. I'm not sure what that entails. You might have to ask a different question or what that means.
Word that.
Ayla says, I do enjoy coffee, Ravi. Too bad they stopped selling my fave coffee creamer. Do you mean they got rid of Almond Joy coffee creamer, Ayla? Are you fucking kidding me?
Chateau? I can never say his name.
Shohei
Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
What team is Shohei Ohtani going to play for next year in Major League Baseball?
Quentin says Kevin Owens got a sore throat tonight. Marcus says Punk wanted to wear MMA shorts with sponsors on it, but Vince said no. Then Brock did it when he returned.
Like, wait, what? Yeah, that's exactly, that's what I heard at least. But that's out of CM Punk's mouth.
So it says it would be interesting to see sponsorships in the ring. That would be interesting.
Shohei Ohtani might be staying in Los Angeles, but potentially switching teams to the Dodgers. This speculation is based on a poll of MLB players by The Athletic, where many players see the Dodgers as a likely destination for Ohtani. Additionally, there have been talks about a bidding war between the Mets and Padres, with the possibility of the Dodgers ultimately acquiring him. Reports also hint at the likelihood of Ohtani leaving the Angels if they fall out of playoff contention.
Which they do.
These discussions are still speculative, and as the offseason approaches, Ohtani's exact destination for the 2024 season will become clearer.
What is your deal? Weirdo. Don't be weird. Anyways, so if he goes to the Dodgers, I hope they give him a 25-year, $10 billion contract. Come on. Do it.
So it says it'd be interesting to see sponsorships in the ring. That would be interesting. Sophie says Triple H said he is happy to be working with the new owners. Walter says Santos turned on Rey. Yep, he did a little bit. Yep. Ayla says no, Travis. Haha. Permits are for people who follow rules.
Well, I'm just worried because that lady that lives behind you. Because all she has to do is complain about it.
Yep. P-Call says, Marcus, hope you feel better, bud. Sophie says, here comes Rey versus Santos. John Sparklin's in the chat. Hey, John, good to see you tonight. So we're going to need to see your papers, Cola. Did you, John, go on your date night tonight? Marcus says, the only time I saw Rey unmasked was in WCW when he was in that heel faction. Walter says, get the medics for Rey. Mary Wilson says, we need Santos versus Rey. Loser leaves.
Okay, I know.
That'd be okay. I'd be okay with that one.
I like where your head's at.
Kikola says, that's above my pay grade. My uncle has the plans. Oh. Sophie says, they announced the new NXT TV deal like the afternoon that a new episode of NXT premieres this week.
Yeah.
Marcus says, Rey about to pass the torch to Santos. That's fine, but they're not going to announce it next year right before their series starts. And they're like, oh, by the way, they're going to get it done before then.
Yeah, but she was just saying they're going to do it right before Raw.
Yeah, well, an announcement would be made from us. Yes. Marcus says Rey about to pass the torch to Santos. Is he? Ayla's like, Fat Lisa, make a clay deck, pour epoxy over it. Sophie says Santos turned heel. Chris says this reminds me of when Rey betrayed Batista and he lashed out just like Santos. Rey is actually the bad guy and Santos and Batista were misunderstood. Brandon Stevens says, Bailey, marry Brandon Stevens.
Bailey might turn into a face tonight also. There's a lot of rumors about that.
Ooh. Is she going to go back to her flying,
Her
waving
dolls.
arm guys and jumping around with her side ponytail, wearing her bright colors? Robbie says D. Travis knows what he's doing. Sophie says, does that mean the LWO is going to break up after this? Brandon says, Adam Pearce, no manager, taking fucking shit. Sophie says NXT used to have weekday pay-per-views in the old days of NXT. Piccolo says this Tuesday in Texas was an old WWF event. Oh, that's
wow.
cool. Ayla says, yeah, Almond Joy is a goner unless I can't find it. It's been like 3 weeks. Really? John says, I remember a Tuesday night in your house pay-per-view back in the 90s. Sean says, hi. And Sophie says, I didn't expect the Santos turn to happen tonight. It felt rushed. Marcus says, imagine WWE getting sponsored by Blue Chew. He was like, I remember 90s pay-per-views too. Crazy times.
That'd be hilarious.
Quentin says Santos needs to let go about what happened to him when Rey took Santos' spot to beat Theory for the United States title. John says, Shotani, Yankees or Boston, maybe Dodgers or Padres.
Dodgers, hopefully. That's my fingers crossed. And a huge...
Otani.
I want it to be so big of a contract that the Dodgers can't recover from it. Like, I'm talking something like $200 million a year or something.
Hate. Sophie says, imagine WWE getting sponsored by ChatGPT. Harley says, they have not gotten rid of my coffee creamer flavor yet. That is peppermint mocha. Another flavor of life is cinnamon. Picola says, the best of times. And John says, just got back from Chili's. Oh, nice. Guys went to Chili's. Cool beans. Did you get the baby back ribs? Just kidding. Chris says, ask AI if Brock Anderson will live up to his father, Arn Anderson's achievements.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God. Rob was like, any good storylines on Smackdown building? Yeah, Rey and Santos. We've all been waiting for it.
There it is. Bailey.
John says, Tuesday in Texas, good one, Cola. Sophie says, would it be weird if Raw is off the USA Network? They did it before when they were on Spike TV. Ayla says, that lady has left us alone. Besides, she threw a glass bottle at the other neighbor's house, got cops called on her again. She's on thin ice, I'm assuming. Pico says, what's all at Chili's? I swear I haven't gone there in 12 years.
Baby back ribs. That's all I know.
Sophie says, Taboo Tuesday was a pay-per-view event WWE did. Ravi says, Almond Joy, the chocolate? Yeah, like it's a chocolate almond coconut creamer. It was like, yeah, Ravi, they made a coffee creamer. Delicious. Mr. Marcos 2.0 is in the chat. Hey, Mr. Marcos says, I know what happened because Rey Mysterio stole the title from Santos Escobar.
And then
That's
went and
probably
lost
what started it.
to a YouTuber.
Ravi says, Blue Chew if you want a long stork. Ew. Sophie says, they teased the Santos heel turn the past few months. The bunny from AEW is no longer in AEW.
No, she's gone, huh?
What?
Yeah, they let her go. Her contract silently expired.
Ravi says, Ayla, just order it on Amazon. Pico says, I'm being filtered in half of my messages, not like I care or whatever. I can't help that, Pico. I don't know why it does that. I hate it. It's so annoying. So if you had
It
shit
doesn't like hate speech, so don't do hate speech. Just kidding.
Ayla says, she was aiming at a human but hit their house. Well,
awesome.
that's good that it hit their house and not the human. But in a way, I guess she would have gotten more trouble.
I'd have been like Jack Burton. It's on the reflexes.
John says, wife ribs. I got chicken crispers. I like their chicken crispers at Chili's. Chris says, Kairi Sane is so cute, but not in like a hot, like I don't even see her that way. She's just so cute like a kitten. True. Mary says, I want Io to turn on Bailey.
She's going to.
Sophie says, Bailey looks surprised when Kairi returned. Ayla says, you got wife ribs? Cannibal. John's laughing. Sophie's like, Logan Paul announced he is retiring from boxing to do WWE full time.
Good, he should.
Way more money and easier on his body. Chris says Bunny could go back to TNA or maybe to NXT would be interesting and make her a main eventer.
She could go
People
to NXT
says,
and be something.
Ribs.
But there's so many women in NXT right now. It'd be hard to even get in.
So he says, do you think the WWE will make a play for both the Bunny and Brock Anderson? No. I would really be surprised if they did a play for any of them, but...
Dakota's saying, it's okay. It's okay. As they're walking down to the ring. Silliness. That's what we need, is a champion that can't cut a promo.
It's my best. It's the best. Love it. So good. Kyrie is out there. We got Dakota Kai and Bailey and Kyrie. Is Dakota Kai going to stick with Io Sky, or is Dakota Kai going to go with Bailey? What group is she going to stick with?
I don't know. Dakota's behind her, so they could do that. This is in January 2020. Or July, sorry. Talking about bringing up old shit.
That's why. Is because Bailey beat her up months and months and years ago.
Right. It was literally 3 years ago and a few months. Let
That's
it
funny.
go. Let it go. How the hell can Damage Control be a group without Bailey? Who the fuck's gonna talk for him?
Dakota Kai?
She's not doing very good tonight. Damage Control. Love it.
She sounds so evil when she says it.
I forgive you. And she opens her arm for a hug. Give her a hug. You got to get back to the hugging. There it is. Big group hug. Group hug. Is that Bianca? It is. Bianca obviously upset. This is going to set up the women's War Games. Since there's 4 of them. She'll come out with what? Charlotte, Shotzi, and Asuka? Or will Asuka be on the other side? Or am I just talking to myself?
No.
What's not? Are you reading reviews on something? On concrete? Stamped concrete for a deck? Nobody likes a sore loser. It's true. There she is. Told ya. Comes Charlotte first.
That's funny.
That's some heavy hitters right there that they're going to have to fuck with.
It's going to be weird.
You got Bailey and the Riff Raff and Kairi Sane. against
Bianca
two
and
of the
Charlotte.
best. I mean, that's enough right there. Okay.
All right, let's do that.
Even.
Marcus says Raw changed channels before when they moved to TNN right after when ECW was supposed to get the deal. John says her ribs are 50% mine. Mary says, yeah, Bailey is going to turn on EO. Ravi says Bailey is on Respect the Best. And Asuka. Jeez. Chris says I would have brought Mariah May to NXT and have her face Tiffany Stratton, but having her versus Tony is also going to be interesting. Chris says there's Kai out there. Mr. Marcos says EO versus Bailey Women's World Championship at Survivor Series. Ayla says, yeah, Google it. Discontinued the coffee creamer. What do you mean they discontinued? I can't even see it. Chris says Kai looking like Chun Ituli. And Ayla says, you could sell your stash at the $30 a bottle. Sophie says, Damage Control breakup. Finally, they teased it on and off the past year. Marcus says, WWE missed opportunity to get Mariah May. She is amazing. I hope AEW doesn't. I'm hoping you mean doesn't misuse her. Unless you say does misuse her. But I hope they don't. Because that's usually what they end up doing.
Oh, this women's match is happening tonight. Which is going to then lead into War Games, I would assume.
Phil wants to know what time it is. It's ladies' time. Mr. Marcos message retracted, but Sophie says so Kairi Sane is in Damage Control? Not really.
Yes.
Is she?
Yeah, they said we brought her in to make Damage Control stronger.
Oh, okay. Marcus says if there was a time to appreciate the what chances when EO talks on the mic, Phil's like, it's armpit time. And Sophie says, with Kairi back, will it open the door for a Sasha Banks return? No. There's a completely different return. Kairi Sane didn't return on a I quit shit.
I mean, obviously, Sasha can come back at some point. Like, it could happen.
I hope she comes back and they break her leg.
Never
and
say
then throw her in
never.
a dumpster where she belongs.
So all the floors are shaped like this. This must be for that tournament thing that they're having.
Oh. Mr. Marcos says, don't tell me she enjoyed War Games. Chris says, oh, they are best friends now. Films like It's Armpit Time. I love Bailey and Io Sky and Dakota. And even though Dakota's wearing a jacket, but still. Chris says Shotzi will team with Charlotte and Bianca. It was Asuka. Bryce is in the chat. Hey, Bryce says, oh, snap, here comes Bianca. Hey, everyone. Hey, Bryce. Good to see you tonight. How you doing? Been a minute. Sophie says, it is funny that they conveniently left out Sasha when they showed the Kairi beatdown. Chris says, yep, Kairi and Asuka were the Bukkake Warriors.
The Bukkake Warriors.
Who, with Paige. Just kidding, lol. They were the Kabuki Warriors. Oh, man, dude. Marcus says it's obvious Asuka going to join Io and Kairi Sane. It's obvious Asuka is not going to join them. Mary Wilson says, hey, I've been wondering, are we going to have Hit Row back? No, that one guy was fired.
Yeah, we only got Ashante, but it looks like B-Fab's going to be with Bobby Lashley in the street business or whatever.
Oh, God. Why do they have to put a skank hoe with them?
Yeah, put freak hoes out there.
Mr. Marcos says, I was filled look like NXT because they have a boring match, so I was gone to sleep. Yeah, that makes sense. Marcus says, if you looked closely, Bailey was mouthing the promo script.
That's funny.
I'm not looking. I didn't look. Ayla, I need you to send me this information about how it was discontinued.
She's having a panic attack.
She probably is.
No, I'm talking about you.
I said she probably is. Ayla.
I'm talking about you, but yeah.
Why am I having a panic attack?
It's your creamer.
I don't have to drink coffee at all. I do not require coffee. And I can just use vanilla. It's not that bad.
Oh, like protein shake.
I can just use vanilla.
Put the powder in there.
I could just put protein powder in like half and half and like shake it up for that vanilla and then put it in coffee.
Twist
yes.
and shout.
I could do that. Chris says, what was his name? Shot caller on Top Dollar or whatever.
Yeah, Top Dollar.
His name is Top Dollar.
Top Dollar.
Mary says, imagine Sasha came back. Marcus says, I can see Sasha coming back at some point now that Vince is no longer in charge. Chris says, ask her which coffee is the best. Which coffee is the best? I'm finally caught up in chat enough you could probably ask. It was really hard
That's
because
not a real thing.
every time you would do it, I was like half a page behind.
What is the best coffee in the world?
The title of best coffee in the world is pretty subjective as it depends on personal taste. However, some coffees are frequently praised for their quality. These include beans from regions like Ethiopia, which is known for its rich, aromatic coffee, Colombia, famous for its smooth, mild flavor, and Jamaica's Blue Mountain coffee, which is often hailed for its mild flavor and lack of bitterness. Also, some aficionados swear by specific high-end brands or beans, like those from Panama's Hacienda La Esmeralda. What's your favorite, or what qualities do you look for in a coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Not burnt. Not bitter coffee. That's what I look for in a coffee.
So it sounds like you might like something from Ethiopia or from Jamaica.
I would rather have the cat poop coffee.
I was going to ask you that. That's funny. It's like, what's the cat poop one? Isn't there one that they eat beans?
Piccolo says, ask AI, what's the best region for making authentic kimchi?
What the fuck?
I will ask it.
Thank you. I'll tell you when. You ready? No.
What's the best region for making authentic?
Said it failed. It's fine. Calm down. I don't know why it has a fast forward button there. Maybe I hit a button. Why are we fast forward? There we go. Okay.
What's the best region for making authentic kimchi? Hey, it's Dragon Lee and Cedric Alexander.
Okay.
They started it during the break
Yeah.
because I don't remember this happening before the break.
They
This
brought-
is
They brought
amazing.
him out.
Who are these people? What's happening?
Dragon came out.
The southeastern province of Jeollanam-do in Korea is renowned for its distinctive kimchi, which includes ingredients like yellow corvina and butterfish. This is just one example of the rich regional diversity in kimchi preparation across Korea. Each area has its unique twist on the traditional fermented dish, with variations in ingredients and flavors, from mild to very spicy. It seems the best region for kimchi could be quite subjective, depending on whether you prefer your kimchi with fish, without the heat of red pepper flakes, or extra spicy.
Mary says, I could see Bailey turning on EO soon. Mr. Marcos says, do you know who is the man mask MJF? We can find out at Full Gear, or it was Mustafa Ali or Dolph Ziggler or CM Punk.
It'd be cool if they did it with Dolph. I'd be okay with that. I
Yeah?
don't think it could be CM Punk, but I mean, yeah, it could be. It would make sense. It'd throw him right into that title picture. That would be a very good storytelling on their part. We don't see that too often. With
Right.
CM Punk. They're fired, you know, like the whole thing.
Right, but he's really not. So this is, wow, Charlotte, Bianca, and Asuka surprising. Pico says he used to buy Kona coffee grounds. It was pretty yummy. Chris is like, Tai Chi. Sophie says, which female will come back first, Trinity or Sasha, since Vince is no longer in charge?
Trinity is the world champion in TNA or whatever, so I don't know. Hopefully neither would be my answer to that. But if we had to get stuck with one of them, I guess I'd rather have Naomi back.
Sophie says, Dolph and Ollie 90-day ends at the end of the year.
Yeah, I have it on my calendar. I think it's like December 20th is the date. I have it written down from their release. Yeah, Kevin Owens is kind of boring on commentary. I just realized that.
Yeah, he doesn't say much.
And notice that there's no heel, so it's boring. Corey at least brings the heel side to it. And Kevin is not doing that. So now it's like an AEW commentary booth. It's like, okay. Let's everybody be nice to everybody. Dragon Lee's hat looks so cool with the flame hair coming out the back. He is so athletic. You never see moves like that.
That's funny.
I'm just being positive about everything. Because it's so cool. Because Dragon Lee's the greatest wrestler in the history of the sport. And it's been that way for a while since his call-up, basically. AEW could have had this guy, but he took less money to go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that he'd rather be on WWE than AEW.
Oh, this says there's a report that more cuts are coming after their earnings call last night. Oh, that's funny. If they're having more cuts, why would they hire more people? That sounds really dumb. Sophie says Disney Plus and Hulu streaming service is going to combine into one app in 24, like March or April.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, goody for them.
It sounds like the
More
prices
money.
will change then.
Yeah.
Will it just double their price? Because they got to be making money from both apps. So if they put them together, what do you do? What can you do? Cedric's like this overrated jobber. It's like, seriously, put him... Didn't Shelton Benjamin get cut?
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Can't put him back with him. Might as well just cut his ass too, I guess. Because you don't need jobbers with this roster that they have.
It's true.
It's pretty stacked. I don't know if anybody remembers watching wrestling in like the mid-90s and before, but do you guys remember when they had nobodies wrestle? They used to have... I used to literally... That's what I called them. Oh, he's wrestling a nobody. There's this guy, like some dude that would wrestle against, Ravishing Rick Rude or
That's funny.
Terry Funk, anybody, like, oh, doing a jobber match. But they didn't call it that shit back then. I just called them, oh, it's a nobody. And literally, that's what I called them. They're like, oh, nobody. That's what Edge would have been when he first came up and wrestled. I would have called him a nobody.
Right.
On his first one. Dragon Lee wins.
Chris says, still can't believe they ranked Hijo del Vikingo at number 5 on top 500. Like, what the fuck? He's barely wrestles on AEW. Sophie says, no news about the price of it. And what does that mean for all the shows that Hulu has? Nothing. Chris says Swerve Strickland needs to become AEW champ this next upcoming year.
They got to do something with him. But, I mean, look what they did. Think about this. Keith Lee, top signing from WWE, right? He's the guy that can come over and be their big face of their company. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, Samoa Joe wants to move on and wrestle for the world title. I have an idea. Let's let him beat the guy that we signed that's going to be the face of the company.
Yep.
And then...
he's going to vacate the title.
He'll fucking let it go.
Right after. If I was Keith Lee...
I would be like...
I would be so fucking pissed. Be like, I don't care what you have to do with my contract, but it needs to be dissolved.
That's the worst thing. I mean, they could have done so many other things where Joe got distracted by MJF coming down on the ramp.
Yeah.
Anything, even little, like they could have done. Keith Lee's like, they're making it like, he's shit, and so there's no way he could have won that. It's like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not a Keith Lee fan. You guys will watch me all the time. I'm just saying, like, really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they do into Swerve. Every time Swerve's in, like, a meaningful fight, he loses it. Like,
yeah, it's
Adam
really
Page
weird.
or whatever his name is. Is it Page? Yeah, Adam Page. He's like, he'll lose. It's like, why? He's showering with it, sleeping with it. It's pretty funny.
Fuck. Jesus. That's normal stuff for Logan Paul. There you go.
Dude, Cleveland Browns are actually pretty damn good this year.
Well,
Hey,
that's
look at
why you're not
this.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, dressed like Hulk Hogan in the back. L.A. Knight.
Jeez.
Going up
Anyways,
against-
when you were talking about those guys and the jobber guys or whoever you talked about,
The
Pico
nobodies?
says, I do. He
Yeah, the
remembers.
nobodies.
Mary says, hey guys, what happened to Everbless? I'm not him. Have no idea. Mr. Marco says, well, we don't know what's the Triple H he say. Sasha Banks or she back or not because WWE, they not have planned for a return her back. Sophie says streaming services are so desperate that some of them are combining into one streaming service, which could be a good or bad idea. Bad idea if they up their prices. If they up their prices, it's not worth the effort.
You know what
to
they
even
should
have
do
them.
is they should all get together and combine it and then charge about $140 for it.
Oh, you mean
We
like
used to call it
Netflix?
cable.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Pico says enhancement talent.
Yeah, that. I call it nobodies when I was a kid. I didn't know.
Right.
But yeah, that's what you would call it. That's the PC.
Yeah. Chris says, yeah, in WWF when Barry Horowitz beat someone like Mr. Perfect or whoever, I forget. Sophie says Ring of Honor almost went to ECW, but Tony Khan said it wasn't time yet. Ravi says Keith Lee is finished on AEW, and Chris says, yep, reducing Keith Lee to ROH. Not even that, though. They didn't even reduce him to ROH. They could have. They could have reduced him to ROH and have him be the TV title holder there, but they couldn't even have the respect for him to do that. Now, granted, there was no like storyline or anything, but that's what TV titles are for, right? Is that there are no storylines. It's just first come, first serve. Whoever you go up against them. Sophie says Keith Lee was being used the same way in WWE as well. Not
He won the
really.
championship. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he won the North American Championship and then beat, oh God, who was it that he beat? Adam Cole for the world title. So he had both of them at the same time. I could be wrong, but I know he beat Adam Cole for the world title because Karrion Kross beat him for the world title.
Sophie says Keith Lee probably wishes he was still in WWE now.
That was bad. That's just a...
Mr. Marcos says in 2020, I was 19 years old. I was there in WWE Monday Night Raw and got my win debut, but I lost, so I quit wrestling. I might come in again, but really soon.
Quit it.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Piccolo says, not exactly. Sophie says they never did Keith Lee versus Swerve, no payoff. So that feud and storyline, it seemed like they dropped it.
They do that all the time.
Robbie's like, LA Knight about to fuck shit up.
But now they got Ric Flair, so everything going forward should be better for them. Oh, wait, this isn't 1989. I'm sorry.
This isn't 1989, Travis. That's ridiculous.
Woo!
Mary's like, hey guys, what happened to Everblast? Not trying to be mean. Have no idea, Mary. Don't know. You tell us. Robbie says, but Keith Lee, he's not even good enough for ROH shows. He's not that guy. People's like, yeah, Keith Lee was the only double champ during NXT.
Yeah.
Chris says, well, yeah, Keith Lee also did a Samoa Joe where Lee vacated the North American title, so that was dumb on his part.
LA Knight.
Sophie says, I meant Keith Lee was being treated the same way in AEW as he did when he was on the main roster of the WWE.
Yes.
On the main roster of the WWE, he was told he needed to lose weight, and then he had all those heart issue complications and had some scares for his health. And so he was gone for a while. So there's that.
And then he put the weight back on when he got to AEW, so...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, at some point, you got to care about yourself.
Yeah, care about yourself.
At some point. Boston and Brooklyn. That's cool that Boston got that Paringas or whatever his name is. They've got a bunch of stars now. They could win the championship this year. Like, not easily, but, like, handedly win the championship. This guy's shooting right here. He's, like, 7'4".
Eh.
Yeah, but he's a little bit more coordinated than you would think.
Robbie says, Ayla, you've been off today's. She said she didn't work today because she took a mental health day, Rafi. Mr. Marcos says, I know why, Keith Lee, because this McMahon, he don't like it, and he don't want, like, more pushing to him, and he got fired, and he signed AEW.
Yeah. But should he have?
So it was like, Netflix is raising prices again.
I heard that. Somebody told me that on the phone the other day.
Yeah, because I got an email. I was mad. And now I'm going to cancel it. Because I went down to the $10 tier for the $10 a month one.
That's funny. And then they raised
And
it.
then they raised it.
You're like, dude.
Because they were like, oh, if you're in this when you're grandfathered in. And so they didn't. And now they're like, now we're raising prices. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you.
So you were grandfathered in for like a week.
Basically. Felt like it.
It was a good grandfather clause.
It was good. It was a good month.
It was that kind of grandfather that touches you inappropriately.
The no square grandpa.
You know the grandpa I'm talking about. Drinks a little too much. Hates grandma. Grandma sticks around anyways.
Pickles, like, I've been already canceled since May, maybe. Yeah, I went down a tier in it, and so I went down, and then I went down before, and then they were like, we're going to make this our lowest tier, but it has ads. But if you've already had this one, we won't. So the tier I'm in, they're like, they did that without ads, right? So now they're like, we're raising the prices. And it's like...
So are they raising the price for non-ads, though?
All of it.
Or are you going to get ads?
Oh, I won't get ads because
okay.
I'm already in that one that doesn't have ads. But still, it doesn't matter. Within an inch of it.
Oh, you don't see murders like that very often.
With a corn holder?
Well,
in the eyeball?
No, it was two before that.
Oh, I didn't see
The
that
girl was
one.
jumping on a trampoline and he put a sword up the trampoline, so obviously she has to come back down.
Ooh.
But that wasn't the one. It was he dunked her in water and then turned the freezer all the way down and just stuck her face to it. To the freezer because it's stuck because it's so cold.
Yeah,
Like your tongue.
And you couldn't get away?
Well, you could, but it would hurt.
So you would just die there? Did he kill her? Or did he just do
It
that to her?
was like snap, snap,
Oh.
snap.
So it says people threaten canceling Netflix, but they never do because they find a show or movie that they want to watch. Mr. Marco says, do you saw a commercial, LA Knight, he work, Aldi?
I have a
didn't
question.
see that commercial.
I have a question. If you say that no one ever does, are you talking about in general or are you talking about people you know? Because I'm pretty sure they lost like 250,000 subscribers in the last quarter.
Sophie means everybody. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't know if Sophie could give you a specific. It says people threaten canceling Netflix, but they never do. Because they find a show or movie they want to watch. So they're saying the people that threaten it just never do.
Oh.
It's like, I threatened to get rid of it. And Travis was like, well, McKenna watches it. And I'm like, oh. So I went down to the lowest one I could without ads.
No, you can cancel it.
And now I'm like, I'm just ready to cancel it.
If that's the case, then just get rid of it.
I just am like, nah, done. If I want to watch something on there that bad, we'll just make a schedule for each month of what we get. And then the beginning of the month, I'll buy that subscription for the month and then cancel it.
Yep.
And then do the next one.
Yeah.
And if we keep it for 2 months, that's fine. But the only one that I'm not going to do that with is HBO because it's included with our phones.
HBO comes with our
cell
phones and Peacock for the WWE stuff. And then everything else can go. But when we do this stuff, we sign up all the way through a year. And so they don't expire until like March and April.
Yeah, those ones we canceled already are like February. The Disney one and...
Oh, I thought that was March. But yeah, cool.
One of them, March and April, February and March.
Well,
somewhere
February
in there.
is March, like
Yeah, whatever.
into February.
So
I love his Hulk Hogan shirt out here.
Sophie says, so no Roman Reigns tonight? Probably not, Sophie. We're probably not going to see him for a few months until, what was it? Not the next pay-per-view, but the one after.
Royal Rumble?
No, not that one then. The one after that. When are we going to see him again? January, February?
We'll definitely see him in January. Royal Rumble's in the end of January.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see him at least one more time this year, I think.
Sophie says Disney Plus is also raising prices as well. Ravi says, does a team full of stars win over a team full of non-stars and rookies?
Well, of course they do. In the NBA, if that's what you're talking about. But if you have a solid team like the Detroit Pistons were in the 80s, the end of the 80s, or they were at the beginning of the 2000s with like Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace and Rip Hamilton and Tayshaun Prince and Chauncey Billups, like that team, it had no stars on it. Maybe Rasheed Wallace you could consider a star.
Right.
But they beat the Lakers in the championship, who had Shaq and Kobe.
Right.
Like, so you can beat stars if you have a good system. Like, if you work well together, if you have a great defense, which they did. They had Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace in the middle, and that way they could handle Shaq a little bit. And then, obviously, Rip and Tayshaun have to try to play Kobe, which isn't the easiest task, but...
True.
Anyways, so it can happen, but usually it's the star-studded teams. But look at last year. I mean, Denver won the championship, and they just have one star, and I don't even know if you would consider him a star. He's a big, tall, goofy white dude.
Did you hear what he said to him?
No, I haven't heard
I'm
one
sorry.
word he said.
You can't take the mother's basement out of the boy. Sorry. There's a few people.
I've got a few people I know.
There's a few people I could say that about. In a lot of different scenarios. Yeah. Walter's like, LA Knight, yeah. And Pico's like, yeah, curiosity. Sophie's like, people I know. Well, that must be a lot of people then. Mr. Marco says LA Knights go back to Aldi. Pico says, oh, the people. Walter's like, okay, bye, guys. See you Monday for Raw. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah. Bye, Walter.
Oh, shit,
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You have a great weekend. Pico says, bye, Walter. And Sophie says, my mom has talked about canceling Netflix. Ravi says, LA Knight not the best on promos. He's pretty average or better than average, though, Ravi. He's not the best,
He's
but...
entertaining. He says funny things. And he's got this. LA Knight. Yeah.
Sophie says, I get HBO Max for free as well because I have DirecTV.
Yeah.
It will be weird not seeing Roman at Survivor Series. Pickle says, it's tough, to be honest. Different popular shows are distributed on every single paying service. And that's why you have to do your research, right? So what you would do is you'd be like, if there's a specific show that you're like, I know I want to watch this show, and it comes out on, like, for instance, Fargo, let's say, because Ayla's not in here, but it's one of her favorite shows, right? So you would find out what streaming service is going to have it. And then what I would do is I would wait until all of the episodes were done. And then that next month afterwards, if it's going to be on there, I would get that streaming service and then just binge watch it that month and be done. Or let's say you know you're going to want to watch it. So you get it. You know when you're going to get it. You binge watch all of the seasons and then that.
I want to do The Office again. Okay, I'm going to get Peacock and I'm going to watch it. So on and so forth.
I mean, just, that's just an example. But you'd have to do some research and stuff like that. So you'd have to kind of know. Like, you'd have to, look around and say, what's this streaming on? What's this streaming on? What's this stream? What's it going to stream on? Where is it going to be? Where can you watch all the seasons and episodes of? And so on and so forth. Sophie says some shows are on Peacock, Hulu, and Paramount Plus. And that's true. Some of them are on all three of them. So why would you need all three, right? Sophie says, and some are Netflix exclusive movies or series, which... most of the Netflix exclusive stuff, I'm not a big fan of. There's maybe been a few that I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Like the Santa Claus one that Netflix did. I like that one.
The two of them with, what's his name? Kurt
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah. I mean, I do like those. as, you know, an exclusive Netflix one. There's a couple other ones. Like, I don't mind that Wednesday show, but I get really bored with shows after a while, and so I just stop watching them. So there are very few series that I'm like so invested in that I have to know what happens next.
Fact.
It happens with ones I've even seen multiple times. Like, I can watch something and be like, hey, I don't want to watch this anymore because I've seen it already. I don't want to ever watch it again. Or if I do watch it again, it's just because it's in the background and I don't really care what's happening, and it's just a background noise for me. I'm not a type of person who sits down and specifically like pays attention to every single thing. I do it one time and I'm done.
Talk is cheap. So
Chris
is
says,
cheap.
yeah, LA Knight called Waller a pedo. Gross. Pico says, Rashid, I don't consider him a star. He was like the shooting big men. Currently how they are shooting more out in threes.
Yeah, Rashid was different. I consider him a superstar because when he was on the Washington Bullets, they were good. And then when he went to Detroit, they were great. So, and they won a championship. If he wouldn't have been on that team, they wouldn't have won a championship.
So he made him better.
It literally comes down to that. But there's no stars on that team.
Right.
I mean, Rasheed Wallace is probably an all-star, but he wasn't. I don't know. Is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. He could be a Hall of Famer. I have no idea.
What constitutes them being a Hall of Famer, though, in NBA? I don't know.
I would assume there's a statistical part. I bet you 20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists will get you in. Any one of those will get you in. I would assume that's a pretty good mark. Because there's a lot of guys that are in there with that type of number, you know. Like Larry Bird obviously deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but Larry Bird's numbers aren't the same as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but you would say, okay, well, he's better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just played longer.
Right.
Or
Okay.
Magic Johnson. Those two were supernovas. They were great. They made basketball what it is today. Their feud in the 80s, they're the best two basketball players, besides maybe Dr. J at that time. Dominic Wilkins came up a little bit later, but same time. Jordan. But they couldn't compete with those. Every time Jordan played against the Celtics, he got swept in the 80s.
Oh.
Like, he couldn't beat Larry Bird and the Celtics.
Sophie says, I sometimes watch Friends on Max. Robbie says, who's this bozo in the blue? That's that Grayson Waller guy.
Yeah, it's Gray.
He has like a talk show thing. It's weird.
He's the Australian Matt Riddle.
Yeah. Sophie says, it is weird with all the streaming services that we have. We sometimes can't find what we want to watch. Chris says they use the same song for war games.
Yeah, the pig, the war pig.
Yeah. Chris says don't like Christmas Hallmark movies. LOL.
What? We can't be friends.
I'm pretty sure Chris is one that likes them.
Oh, okay, never mind. We're friends.
He says, don't like Christmas Hallmark movies, question mark. That would be me. I'm not a fan. I don't watch them very often. I mean, I've seen a couple of them and they're okay, but not my fave. Sophie says, some shows you see on Peacock or Paramount Plus, they are also on Max. Yep. Robbie says, do you need to stick it out? Oh, no. Pico says the Pinocchio Guillermo del Toro version was worth the Netflix account.
You know, I was going to ask somebody if they'd seen that. I seen it on there, and I was like, because that movie is literally like about mental health. And it's pretty important, at least the book-wise.
So is Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is about mental health.
Oh.
All the characters are basically
They're different
moods.
Yeah.
And Christopher Robin uses them.
Never actually watched Winnie the Pooh. My cousin Trion and Stormy would watch that. I never watched it.
I never really watched it. I've seen maybe
I just
like
like
one
Tigger.
thing. Right?
He was
Because
fun.
he was so fun and
He's a
bouncy.
bouncy.
Fun. That's the thing about Tiggers. I am the only one.
And then Winnie the Pooh got stuck in a hole.
Yeah, because he was too fat. Because he ate himself to death with his depression. Sophie says there are some people that only have Netflix and they don't want to get all the other streaming services, which is fine. I mean, having just one is fine. That's it.
Awesome. But the problem is they're missing out on most everything because Netflix used to be great.
Yep.
And maybe they're like, oh, this is all there is. Because it used to be that way. Now there's so many that...
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pico's like, I wasn't listening. What is your standard for basketball Hall of Fame?
20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. Any one of those. Or, well, probably closer to 15,000 rebounds if you were just going off rebounds. I was kind of putting them all together. But there's other things, right? Like if you're a shot blocker, you got 3 a game or something for 2 decades, you're probably going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So longevity could get you in also. I mean, they let in Dwight Howard, and I don't know what numbers he has, but to me, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Ravi says, did you rate Mitch Richmond?
Oh, I always liked Mitch Richmond. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. I would have to look at his stats. I loved him. I mean, he was the dog back in the day. You
have a lot of sparkles on your gear. Say something else! You have a lot of sparkles on your gear. Get out of here with the sparkles.
Look like you fucked a pixie.
Sophie says, Netflix used to have some good series, and for some reason in recent years, all their shows or movies haven't been that good. They spread themselves too thin and just put it to other stuff. So I'll tell you this much, Sophie. So they used to have good stuff, right? And then they decided that in order to make their platform what it was, they needed to hire big celebrities. And guess what happens when you hire big celebrities? They want a lot of money. And what that does is it makes it so the rest of your content really suffers because you're putting all of your money into just that show or just that thing. I mean, think about it. Red Notice had 3 huge celebrities in it. Ryan Reynolds is a huge celebrity. Gal Gadot is a huge celebrity. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's a huge celebrity. They're all huge, like top tier fucking
$20 million per movie, guys.
So you think about what that movie cost for them to actually make it. Not saying it wasn't a decent movie, but I wouldn't say that it was like, oh my God, the best movie I've ever seen, and it's going to be in my top 10 for the rest of my life.
I like it.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said it's not that it's just, it's
like Jungle Cruise.
It's a mediocre movie. It's
like
good.
Jungle Cruise.
It's not terrible. It's not fucking awful as fuck, but it's not the best fucking cinematic thing I've ever seen in my entire life or that really interests me.
It could have been better if it wasn't The Rock.
I think so,
he
too.
Makes it a little bit more comedy. I love it, by the way.
Ryan Reynolds is the same way, though. He makes it way comedy because he's so weird and sarcastic in some situations that you can't really take him that serious, so. But, yeah.
Good stuff. But yeah, they're spending a lot of money. And then they hired Adam Sandler to do so many movies. And then I think he just kind of gave up on it and just let his friends do it. Mm-hmm. And so those movies are kind of stupid. Yeah. Like that one we watched.
The Wrong Missy.
Uh-huh.
That thing was so dumb.
I'm like, what did they do? It's like, hey, I got an idea. Let's... or The Cobbler.
Oh, God.
Like, dude, I thought you were going to do pretty good movies. Like, I didn't know you were just going to...
Hubie or whatever his name was.
Yeah. Wait, Hubie Halloween.
Uh-huh. Sophie says Hallmark has Christmas movies all year. Yeah, I guess.
Well,
Robbie says, I'm shocked you of all people not a fan of Hallmark films. Sophie's like, I heard that about Winnie the Pooh. Robbie's like, LOD, Winnie the Pooh, I'll bring back nostalgia. Sophie says, Inside Out 2 is coming out next year. The poster's out and they revealed a teaser of it yesterday. What is your standard for a baseball Hall of Fame?
Baseball Hall of Fame's a lot different. I feel like you have to do a lot to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So there's guys in there that I would not allow in the Hall of Fame. But I'm very stingy with my baseball. There's no way a designated hitter would get in.
Right.
Ever.
I don't feel like you have any talent if you're a designated hitter.
It wouldn't even
weird.
be allowed on the ballot. But why have a position if they can't be in the Hall of Fame, right?
True.
So, day one, DH is gone. If you make me commissioner, day one, it's gone. Like, bye.
Sophie says Hulu sometimes has like a deal where they give someone Hulu for free for like a week or something. Most of the time those companies do. You sign up with them for like that and then it is. Sophie says Wednesday is a good watch. Adam Sandler Netflix movies wouldn't be all bad. I only missed, I think, 1 or 2 of them. There's a couple of them that are pretty good. Piccolo says you need to borrow someone's Hulu to watch The Bear and what we do in the shadows. What we do in the shadows, I've heard, is actually pretty funny. It's like vampires, but they're like these different types of vampires, I guess. Huh. And like it's supposed to be like this funny comedy show about them. Yeah, it's a series. Some people at work talk about it every once in a while. Robbie says, but would Netflix be as successful without a lot of A-list celebrities? It's not that popular now. It used to be extremely popular, and then everybody else decided to stream their own shit.
Well, I feel like the A-listers would be more like DiCaprio and others. I don't see The Rock as an A-lister, even though he is.
Yeah.
He's just more of like Conan the Barbarian.
Gal Gadot, if she keeps going the way she is, could become an A-lister.
Right, but can you see her in a non-action role playing like a sexy madam or something?
Yes.
I can't.
She was in that Death
Neighbors.
in the Nile one and did really good.
Yeah, she does okay, but I don't know.
It was different for her, so it was... If you saw her more of those, you wouldn't think anything of it.
Right. Well, she's just so tall.
Oh my God, what does that have anything to do with the price of tea in China right now? She's so tall. Blech. Ew, tall.
Well, it just...
Ew, disgusting! Tallness in a woman!
Just saying that when you're casting and you're doing movies, you don't usually see a bunch of tall girls.
Oh my God.
She's not making an NBA movie.
Oh!
WNBA, sorry. My bad.
Talk about prejudice right there. Holy crap, dude. I know you were such a sexist.
What the fuck is that sexist?
What the fuck do you have a problem with me then? Because I'm tall? Because I'm not 5'2"?
She's like 8'10".
No, she's not.
You ever seen her next to another normal human?
Oh my God, she's not that
I watched
tall.
her dunk on Shaq once.
Just stop. She didn't. You're so full of shit. Full of shit up to your eyeballs and past. Anyways, Luke is in the chat. Hey, Luke.
Luke's in here. He knows.
I finally got to your comment. Hello.
He would say the same thing.
He says he's cast his vote to have KO be a permanent announcer, LOL, which is hilarious because we were just talking about how terrible he was and he didn't say anything for like most of the fucking show.
Well, it's not that he's not saying anything. And that comment about being sparkly was pretty funny. There's no heel. Like, I feel like you have to have heels up there.
Yeah, you got to be an asshole.
Like,
and
you have
he's
to have
in a
like
good guy
a bad guy
mode.
and a good guy so they can bounce it off of each other.
Yeah.
But there's 3 guys out there and they're all kissing all the wrestlers' butts right now.
Yeah.
That's my problem. But if he was an announcer, I have no problem with it. They would just have to get rid of one of the other good guys and then bring in a heel. Or allow him to be a heel. Look at that. LA Knight with the dub.
He finally won against Grayson Waller, and that win should have happened 15 minutes ago.
They wasted a lot of time on this segment.
They sure did.
Because the talking before it, too.
Not that I don't mind LA talking. It's the fact that he should have beat him a lot sooner than he did. They're giving Grayson Waller either too much credit or LA not enough.
Grayson Waller is the next Riddle.
Piccolo says, hello, Luke. And Luke says, hello, Trav and Talitha and
Woo!
chat, I guess. Oh, come on. Say hi to Piccolo. Sophie says they announced a Red Notice sequel like after Red Notice came out. Adam Sandler's daughter starred in a Netflix movie this year. Netflix was #1 streaming service, and it became a little like lower rate after all the streaming services came out. Robbie says, no good for me, tallness in a woman. Whatever, you love tall women, Robbie, so you can stick your head in their boobs. Don't even start with me. I know exactly what you short men want. Sophie's like, remember when Amazon was also a big deal? Robbie says, are you tall, D? I would not have known that. I'm not that tall.
She's 5'9".
I'm taller than average. Let's put it that way.
She's taller than most every woman on your wrestling show. She's probably as tall as Rack Rod.
Not as tall as Rock Rod, but Rhea and like
She's
Charlotte.
taller than Rhea. Probably right around Charlotte's height, if not an inch taller.
Luke says Gal Gadot is not 8 foot tall. Taylor Swift is actually taller than her. Luke, we know you love Taylor Swift, but you do not have to kiss her butt that much. Okay?
Did she dunk on Shaq? Gal Gadot did.
So it's like the Amazon streaming service is weird with some shows. You have to pay for it if you want to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they have every movie on there, so that's why. Like, just like Voodoo.
Picola says the last Sandler movie I liked was, I don't know, Go With It.
Just go with it. Good one.
I'm trying to think what the one that we watched of his that wasn't that bad, that was a newer one. I like the one with him and What's-Her-Face. And he's not the second one, but the first one. Where he's a retired cop or he's a cop or something. And they go on vacation.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Jennifer Aniston.
The Clue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that one.
Yeah, the first one. The second one was
The
kinda
second one was
goofy,
kind of dumb.
But
But the first one was pretty good.
what was that called? Something Mysteries?
Yeah, something like that.
That was good. I like that one.
Robbie says this match was just shite. And Sophie says, well, it is a 2-hour show. Luke says, hi, Piccola. I guess, LOL. Sophie's like, just go with it. It was a fun movie. I watched it a few times. Piccola's smiling, and Robbie says, Taylor Swift ain't even fit. Oh, Robbie. Piccola's like, haven't watched those mystery movies. The first one is good. Second one, you can skip it. But the first one's actually not too bad. Sophie says, Murder Mystery. Sophie says, I haven't watched Murder Mystery 2 at all. I don't really suggest it. It's not
you can
that
watch it.
good.
It's fine. It won't hurt your legacy of the first one, but it's not on that level.
Yeah.
I like movies where they throw you off of what's really happening. The surprise or whatever you call it. What are you doing?
Peeling off my fingernails.
You can't go tomorrow.
I know.
So you're just
She
gonna
can't
look
take
like
'em
a
off.
Goofy.
She won't be able to take them off, so I'm taking them all off myself. I should probably soak them off. I do have some acetone in there.
Acetone is nice.
Yeah, well, I just don't want them on anymore. I was hoping she'd take them off. I wasn't going to put anything on them when I went tomorrow, but since I'm not going. Luke says, Ravi, you're delusional as hell if you say Taylor isn't fit. She may not be athlete fit, but to do multiple, almost 4-hour shows multiple nights in a row tells us she is fit. Thanks, Luke, for sticking up for Taylor Swift. I'm sure she cares. Sophia says, I like that Kevin Owens is feuding with both Theory and Waller.
She's my favorite chief. What? Shit.
The fact that they're like, we don't show what really happens on the football field. We just show what fucking her reaction is to the football. It's fucking pathetic as hell.
Well,
I'm sorry.
She made that guy she's dating famous.
Sophie says, I like that Kevin Owens is feuding with both Theory and them. Me and my mom and our roommate are currently watching House MD, which is on both Peacock and Hulu.
House.
Yeah.
House is an okay show.
Yeah, it's okay until it gets weird. And then it's not.
I like what's her name. She's in that. She's one of my favorites. It'll come to me. Olivia Wilde.
That is her name. Ooh, it looks like she's my favorite chief. Also rolling on the floor, laughing my butt off. I'm surprised that she's okay with being with somebody who's a chief. Wouldn't that be like cultural appropriation? Isn't she like one of those weirdos?
I'm pretty sure she's a right winger. She probably votes on the right side.
Robbie's like, Taylor Swift is Butters. Barf. Oh, man, dude. Looks like, Robbie, if she's butter, does that make you... What's worse than butter?
Nothing's worse than butter.
Margarine? Butter is delicious.
Butter's at the top. So.
I don't know what you're talking about. If we're talking about the food item, butter is amazing.
Are we talking about Butterface?
But I don't know what
everything's good,
butters
Butterface.
means in Ravi slang because he talks weird, so who knows? It could mean the worst thing ever. It could mean that her face is a butt for all we know.
Or from South Park.
She's good,
Butters.
but her face.
Yeah, butter. She's a butterface. Although
Sophie
she has
says-
a pretty face. And she's got a feminine body, so there's nothing wrong with her body. But yeah, she's not like not out there built like Jade Cargill or something.
she's not athlete fit.
Right.
She's not athlete fit, but she's fit.
But she's feminine.
I really personally don't care what Taylor Swift looks like.
I don't care either. I mean,
I don't care what she looks like. I don't really enjoy her music.
I know 3 of
I
her
know a lot of
songs.
people love her, especially Luke, and I don't really care. The obsession, I don't understand. I really don't.
It's
I
fine.
don't get the obsession, but
Like-
I mean, but I don't care that you're obsessed.
Like
as
I
long as
say-
it doesn't ruin your
like
life.
I say every single time, Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw are my top 2 favorites, and then the one she did, the videos where she's in the mansion, and it's from that 1987 or 1889 or.
Oh.
1990. And she's beating up the car with the hammer.
Oh, I think
That song's really good.
I think you and McKenna made me watch that one
Mm-hmm.
because you were like, "This is so amazing. Watch this," and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
that
that's
song's
all right."
awesome. And then I did see one that she released, and I was like one of the first like 5,000 to watch it or whatever. It was she was in a bathtub, but the song was terrible.
You're like, the video was great.
No, it wasn't great. I didn't watch the whole thing.
The bathtub video part was great,
Well, yeah, of course.
but the rest of it, meh. And the song, I don't even know what song it was from because
I can't even pretend. Honestly, I cannot pretend to tell you another song of her. Even her country ones, I don't remember. I just remember the Tim McGraw. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me. And then the Teardrops on My Guitar. That's the one like. Is that the one with like T-shirt bleachers? Blah 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 blah. Is that Teardrops on My Guitar? That might be another one. I might know 4 of her songs.
I have no idea.
There's something
any
about
of them.
bleachers, T-shirt. I was a cheerleader, or you were a cheerleader. Or I was. Anyway, somebody was a cheerleader, and she was a football player. Or...
Are you talking about Skater Boy?
No,
I'm like-
it's a Taylor Swift song.
Oh.
They're teenagers and they're in a gym. I wear short shorts. She wears bleachers. I'm cheer captain, and she plays teeter toys. I don't know.
Interesting.
I should ask AI. Give him AI. Be
Who
like,
is this person?
AI would just be like,
Die.
I broke it.
Why are you stupid?
So
I don't
know,
understand the stupid.
I think I know 4 of her songs. Holla!
Sophie's like Netflix. I go on it sometimes. And Luke says yes, but her face. Ha ha. LOL, he says. Sophie says, but I use Peacock and other streaming services more. Ravi says, butter's UK slang for ugly. Sophie says, Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away. It sure is.
It is.
Well,
it's a
Nicole is
little
like,
less
I don't
now,
know.
13
And Sophie's
days.
like, I only like one Taylor Swift song. And Rob is like, if I was 10, I would understand the hype. And Luke's like, blank space is what Trav is talking about.
Yes, that's the one with the car
Okay.
that she breaks with a hammer or an axe or something.
Sophie says, your thoughts on Katy Perry?
Amazing body.
Not
Like she does. She has a great body. I watched this one YouTube channel, and it had her doing like a.
her singing sucks, asshole. But she has a great body.
Oh, you're singing sex?
Her singing sucks, asshole.
Oh, I don't know about her singing, but I know that like
but her body is
they
fantastic.
put like silicone on her and then put like hard stuff. And anyways, they cast her breasts and they sold it to charity.
Was this before or after she had a kid?
Oh, I didn't know she was pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant with what's-his-face's kid. She's with that.
Blake Shelton.
No, Katy Perry. She's the...
I know who she is. She's the mean one to my buddy's daughter.
Yeah, she had what's-his-face, the pretty guy, Legolas off of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
She's with that dumbass.
I like that. No, he's cool. That dude
I
does
don't know,
Wim
he's kind of a
Hof.
weirdo.
No, he does Wim Hof.
People's like, exactly, Robbie. As Ravi had
Orlando
said,
Bloom.
if I was 10, I would understand the hype. Sophie says, I think I like Shake It Off. And Luke says, Ravi, your bias is showing. Ravi is like, oh, Pickle, you know it. Sophie's like, Taylor Swift, I don't understand why people like her. People do.
Everybody has an opinion. It's fine.
It's okay that people like her. It's
like CM Punk.
I'm just not a fan.
Or Hulk Hogan. Andre the Giant.
Never been a huge fan.
Not everybody's a fan.
Luke says, your bias is showing too, Pickle. A 10-year-old is not Taylor's base audience anymore. Pickle's like, yeah, and I was Skater Boy. Sophie says, Beyonce, I like a couple of her songs. I don't remember the names of her songs.
If Kevin touches one of these guys, he gets suspended. This segment is still going.
If he touches them?
If he touches somebody, he gets suspended.
Why? Who said?
Postman, or not Postman Pierce, but the other one. The SmackDown GM.
Oh, Nick Aldis?
Nick Aldis. He's got to defend them because they threw something at him.
But he's going to get suspended.
Well, he has to get suspended. Although they'll just probably add him to War Games or something. But yeah, he can't hit anybody at ringside. But in reality, he wasn't at ringside when he hit him. He was
because he ran away from ringside.
Stunner!
Luke says she breaks the car with a golf club.
Yeah, that'll work. A stick with a end on it. Yeah.
Piccolo says the metal version of Blank Space rocks. Roy's like, LOD. And Sophie says Katy Perry's Super Bowl performance was awful. Yeah, it was. Wasn't Katy Perry married to Russell Brand? Maybe.
Oh my God. Really? That's hilarious. I like Russell Brand, but I'm sorry. So I know he's not, but when I see him, he is the guy from Saving Sarah Marshall or whatever. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. So every time, honestly, I didn't know who he was. So I thought he was a rock star and that he really sang that type of music. So I'm like, inside you. So I thought that was real. I thought that's what Russell Brand did. But I guess he was a comedian or an actor or something.
That's funny.
And now he's like a conspiracy guy, but he's fun. That shit's great, though, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Pico's like, oh boy, bringing up the one who shall not be named.
Voldemort.
Punk.
Oh, Punk.
Robbie says, I was brought up on rave and club hip-hop R&B music. That's why I don't care for teeny bop music, LOL. Are you telling me that that's what your parents listen to? What? Your parents listen to rave and club hip-hop R&B music? Bullshit, Robbie. Bull fucking shit. I call bullshit on that.
Hold on. Do you listen to Cher then? Like, I believe in love of love. Isn't that one of those songs? And then what, Madonna? Doesn't Madonna have a kind of song that sounds like that one? That's kind of clubby.
Maybe.
You love Madonna.
Sophie says, do you expect Cena to go into the Hall of Fame this year since he is fully retired?
No.
I don't feel he's fully retired, but okay. Luke says Katy Perry was married to Russell Brand like 2 or 3 years ago. Whatever. It's been longer than that.
Who cares? I mean, cool.
Poor guy.
I'm glad he was getting some.
Married to that.
She was pretty.
Robbie's like, Russell Brand been caught with underage girls. Not so clever now.
I don't know how true that stuff is. I think it's just conspiracy stuff.
I think they're trying to get rid of him because he points out things he shouldn't.
Yeah.
So, Robbie, they always try to do that, kind of pull that crap. It's kind of becoming a pattern.
You start to see it. Anybody that says anything against the left, you see all of a sudden they're something to do with some woke movements against them or something.
Oh, my God.
So it's like,
yeah, I don't
know about that.
Yep. Until you have actual fucking proof, I'm not believing any of it.
Show us the tapes.
Yep. Sophie says, wonder who Kevin will team up with against Grayson in theory. I don't know. Maybe he'll just take them on one by one. Looks like LOL Madonna had a whole ass club EDM music face.
Oh my gosh.
Sophie says, when I was growing up, I was listening to NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera.
Yeah. Jessica Simpson.
Aguilera.
Gagulera. That's how you say it.
Oh.
Because she's a gag fest.
Robbie says, no, my
She could
brother
sing like a
and mates
motherfucker,
got
though.
me into rave, jungle, D&B, and what I consider real music.
Real music.
Robbie, you really should have probably outsourced some of your musical interests to other things that's actual
I
real.
consider real music like 60s and 70s rock. That's my real. And then your early country music.
Sophie's like, your thoughts on Kanye West? Yee? You mean on Yee?
I don't know.
Kanye?
I don't know enough about him other than anytime he speaks out about something, they say he's crazy. And so it's like there's another one. So I don't know. I don't know if he's really crazy or not. I mean, does he think the earth is flat?
I don't know about that one.
I mean, there's little things you can go by to see if somebody's crazy.
That's true.
And one of them is the earth
Flat
is
earth
flat.
stuff.
Now, granted, I want the earth to be flat, and I want them to be right, because I want on the other side of the ice wall to be dinosaurs, because I would love to go there one day. Because as a child, that was my favorite thing in the world, was dinosaurs.
Right?
And so don't get me wrong, like either that or just clone them. But they need to get to work, because I want to see a dinosaur. Besides my chickens.
Picole's like, oh boy. Sophie says, I kind of believe the Russell Brand thing for some reason. That's what they want you to believe.
Of course. Just like the, what's his name? The something Tate? Andrew Tate, right? Is it Andrew?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Andy Tate. Anyways, it's some guy who lives in like Bulgaria or something. But he used to be here in the United States. And like he got banned on every platform. And now they're saying that he's like a sex trafficker or something.
Yep. All right. Luke says, okay, I'm off to bed. Just popped in to say hi
Woo.
and cause a bit of chaos. LOL.
Yeah,
Well, it's good
'cause
to
the
see you,
Taylor
hon.
Swift.
And if we don't see you again before, Thanksgiving, and I know you probably will have Thanksgiving, not sure if you're going to have family or come to the States or have your neighbors over, but have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday of eating lots of food. Much to you and Jade and the kids. Hope everything's going good, and hopefully we'll see you before Christmas.
All right.
Try not to
Bye-bye.
be too much of a stranger. Pickle says the influences abound. So it's like about boys to men.
ABC, Bibbidi, East Coast family. Never skipped a beat. No. Never heard of them.
Pickle's like, take care, Luke. Happy holidays if you celebrate them. And Robbie says, don't mind Kanye West has some great music back in the day. His production on Commons B album is quality, how he samples old school soul and funk. Sophie says Kanye West was married to Kim Kardashian. And Luke says, thank you, P. Cola. And Sophie says, you believe that the earth is flat? I'm kind of surprised. He didn't say that, Sophie.
Me? Oh, hell no.
That's
I'm just
not-
saying it would be
Do you
cool.
listen with your ears or your mouth, or is it your fingers that listen?
It would be cool if it was, because then there would be dinosaurs on the other side of the ice wall.
He said it'd be cool if it was. Meaning, he doesn't believe that.
No.
But if it was true, let's say if it was and if they proved it, and if their theory of behind the ice wall is dinosaurs, then he wants to go see the dinosaurs.
I want to fly over this ice wall.
Because he's a child. He's like a 6-year-old.
12. Be
I
nice.
don't know. 6-year-olds really like dinosaurs more than 12-year-olds.
I still like boobs.
6-year-olds sometimes like boobs too.
They can get away with touching them.
That's true. Luke says you'll see me before then, I promise, heart. All right, wink, wink. I'll hold you to that. Sophie says Thanksgiving will be good. Ravi says, Dee and Travis, you ever get much presents for Thanksgiving? Why would we get presents?
Like people showing up like they're present?
No, presents as in like things.
You mean
like presents?
Think like for Christmas? Yes.
No, for
but not for
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, no.
You ever get much presents for Thanksgiving?
I didn't know that you were to
Are
do
we
that.
supposed to get people
May-
presents for
I
Thanksgiving?
mean, in history, like,
I think I'm going to start
I
giving
brought
presents and be like, here's my thanks. I give thanks.
wine. And yes, I've had wine on Thanksgiving, but usually it's me bringing it. No. Not the other
Sammy
way
says,
around.
my fingers listen. Sure. Robbie says the Riff Raff made it to the main event.
They did.
Well, it's supposed to be because there's a champion in it. Charlotte.
And Dakota can't wrestle yet.
Sorry. Peacock says, I really enjoyed Jamie Foxx and his story about Yeezys about the song Slow Jams.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I've never heard that song. And so I want to hear it, and every time I forget about it, because I don't know who Yeezy is, right? I just know I had to buy my daughter these shoes that were called Yeezys, and they were expensive as shit. And she was like in 8th grade and stuff, and she's like, I have to have these. I'm like, why do you want that expensive of shoes in 8th grade? You're going to grow out of them. But she never did. Like, and obviously they're old now, but her feet never grew. So she could hypothetically have still worn them. So from 8th grade on, I could have just bought her a bunch of shoes.
So if it says Jurassic Park or World is going to have a Netflix series that premieres in 24, they announced yesterday.
Fuck yeah. See? Good shit.
So if it says, Robbie says presents as in a lot of family and friends come by. Hello, don't.
That's
What you're thinking, T. Okay, presents as you're spelling it means objects and things. Presents as in Presence, like the presence of people, is a completely different fucking word.
She's the vocabulary police tonight.
It's a fucking different word altogether.
It's fine.
And it was used in the incorrect context anyways.
But I understood it.
Yeah, because you're retarded. Like him. You're both retarded. You guys have an IQ of 80 together. Sophie says that Thanksgiving thing was like
Mama
the Big
would
Bang
say
Theory
box was
reference
like a box
with
of
Raj
chocolate.
giving his friends presents on Thanksgiving.
And no, we don't invite people over anymore. We used
Oh
to.
my
mom.
God! We didn't invite people over because we don't have the room, and we had Naxos, and we weren't sure how he would take the stress.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
And now,
Charlotte got very
physical.
white.
Oh, white. Like she decided that she didn't want to do her fake tan anymore.
I don't think she was faking it. She was down in all over South on the water.
Maybe
with
she
Andrade.
hasn't been able to go.
Maybe it's cold on the ocean.
Maybe it's cold in the ocean. Sophie's like, that classic Robbie, and Pico is laughing. Sophie's like, wow. And Robbie's like, D80, wow, do you think that low of me? No. Hello, did you not listen with your ears? That means both of you have an IQ of 40.
Yeah, 80 together.
Like,
combined.
see? That's how smart you really are. Congratulations.
She totally buried us, man.
Sophie says, it looks like we might get a tribute to the troops soon.
Yeah, as we always do in December. Looking forward to it. It'll be on a Sunday. Guess what time?
Talking about
Whenever they
tribute
put
to
it on.
troops, and we do have a veteran in our chat, Picola.
Yeah.
I do want to thank you for your service that you gave our country. I appreciate you. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for everything that you have done.
There's also a veteran that's in Russia that's serving prison time, but our basketball player got traded for the Merchant of Death.
Well, you know, somebody who does marijuana in another country is so worth getting out of prison.
But the veteran's still there, so everything's where it should be, I guess. How that's right, I have no idea.
Sophie's letting you know that their IQ is like 100.
It's not bad.
Piccolo's smiling big, and Robbie says, D, man, I like, you know how to make people feel good.
You got me by 60.
Exactly.
Or
I'm glad
am
you
I
know
like
how to
at
do maths.
30 and he's at 50. Because I understood what he said. But I couldn't have said it.
Robbie's like, big up, Cole. Ravi, as if anything I say makes you go get off the air at night and question your manhood or your person. Please. No effing way. In any context does it make you question yourself. Sophie says, didn't Ohio pass a bill that involves smoking weed this week? I don't know.
What kind of bill? What was it
I
about?
don't live in Ohio. So I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened in my own city this week.
It's true. Me neither. Pickle says, man, I sure wish I was back to my peak army condition.
Get there.
You could do it. Why not?
Textatrainer.com. Go check it out. Not kidding.
You could do it. I have faith in you if you really wanted to.
Textatrainer.com. Go check this dude out. He is a former world champion bodybuilder dude, and he will talk you through stuff. He's legit. I seriously talk to him every morning.
Ziv says Drew might be on the Judgment Day team for War Games. Maybe. Robbie says, you should know by now. You should know by now. When do I say anything that makes sense? Never. Because everything you say, just like that sentence, I had to decipher it. Like I have to do with Travis sometimes. It's a good thing that I have the IQ of a normal person. Sophie says, I'm not sure.
Are you functionally retarded?
I am too. My hamster up there works really hard.
with the functional retarded. You can train them to do all sorts of tasks.
I can read, damn it. I can read. Picola says, I honestly have thought to go train for one of those silly Tough Mudder events.
Like in a truck? Or are you talking about fighting in the mud? What are we talking about? What's a Tough Mudder?
I don't know.
That's trucks, right?
No. I think it's like human running and doing all that stuff, like triathlon type things.
Oh, that thing with, what is that called?
Tough Mudder events.
Yeah, but there's a name for that.
Yeah.
It's really popular.
Yeah.
What's that called?
It's an obstacle course.
I know what it is. What's that called?
I don't know what it's called specifically, but I know what he's talking about. You know what he's talking about. It's fine. Until somebody comes up with it, it's okay. Anyways, we are watching that woman match
cares about
right now, with Bianca and Charlotte and Asuka on a team against the Riff Raff people. Against Bayley, Io, and Kairi Sane. Interesting happenings.
CrossFit.
CrossFit is no.
That's what I was talking about. It's definitely CrossFit.
It's not CrossFit.
It's CrossFit.
It's not.
That's what it is. That's just a generic name for it.
Sophie says, I don't watch the news. I have read stuff here and there. Picola says,
if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. How about that? So just go do it. Train if you want. Don't train, but go do it. See where you're at. Remember, you're not racing anybody. You're racing yourself. See where you're at, and then do it again next year.
True.
Seriously, just go do it. You'll kick yourself if you don't. If you want to do something, go do it. And then you'll see if you really wanted to when the cards are on the table. But you're only racing yourself. Don't worry about anybody else.
People says, the camaraderie is fun, but not waking up 4:30 every morning to run 5 miles. No bueno. Robbie says, D, if I took what you said to heart, you would give me a complex. Robbie, you already have a complex. There's nothing I can do to insinuate that. People is it's an obstacle course. Sophie says, one of John Cena's movies was shelved this week. He was the producer of it, and it was done filming.
So they're going to put it away?
So it's never coming back. It's just something he faked doing.
Did you see it? She pulled her hand away.
She's like, I'm not helping you.
Is she going to go join the
Just
kabukis?
tap her on the foot. Oh, she doesn't have a hold of this. Oh, she has a hold of the string? Just, oh, God, she's spit in her face.
Yeah, we saw that coming a mile away.
Oh, Jesus. Does this mean it's over? 7:54.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
Is she going to be all happy with her, or is she going to, smack her, too?
They're best friends.
Oh.
Bailey's going to join them. And it's going to be the Japanese against...
She's like, me?
Or not. Charlotte's outnumbered, though.
Alrighty, well, this is dumb. Oh,
Well,
now they ring the bell.
Well, you're going to see Shotzi come down. If there's enough time. Oh, and I'll make watch.
Yeah, there's enough time. It's 7:55. They have a minute or two. Rafi's like, Cola could easily do a triathlon. And Sophie says, wow, the crowd seems dead for this match. It's normal. Sophie also says a lot of movies got new release dates, with some movies going to 25. And Pico says, I knew Asuka was sus.
Well, she's been a heel for a while, so.
Sophie says, so Damage Control is going to be all Asian women?
No.
Rafi says, Esther getting ridiculed by Asuka. Basically. Jesus. I'm sorry, but this is just fucking retarded.
Well, I'm not a fan of this girl, this Shotzi.
I'm not a fan of them, like, making it like,
There's the elbow! Patented, baby!
that their main women are this weak and dumb.
Right. Well, it's 4-on-1. You know, because they've already knocked one out, and then they go after the other one, and then back. If they're both healthy, they can't do that.
So he says this is an interesting move. They announced Shrek 5 is happening in 25, and Ravi says this storyline has nothing to invest in.
Yeah, I mean, is there another Japanese woman out there
There's 3.
in the wrestling?
I don't know.
I can't think of one in NXT. I guess
There
maybe...
might be one in NXT, but I don't know if she's still there. She might have been one they got rid of. I don't know.
Bailey is like, I'm 8 feet tall. I'm actually 5'5". But she's like a foot taller than everybody. Her and Dakota. Well, that just happened. And if you missed it, the Kabuki Warriors are back.
All right. Well, I feel dumb for having to watch that. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back again on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Everybody have a fabulous and safe weekend out there, okay?
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Wrestling Gap, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye.